Hey guys, I'm hoping today's video inspires you to get out in your garden, if you can, and get things cleaned up and prepared for spring planting. I have tomatoes that are pretty much ready to go in the ground. I have seeds that are ready to be direct sown into the garden. But right now I've got a bit of a mess. So let me take you around and kind of show you what we're dealing with. And then hopefully by the end of this video, everything will be pristine and ready to be planted. So my peanut bed needs to be weeded a bit. The sweet potato bed needs to just be cleaned up. So in this bed, we've got our bulb onions. We've got some dill, which I'm gonna leave. We've got some overwintered peppers that have seen better days, but they will probably be okay. We've got chives, 4 bunches of chives. Actually, you know what? In the last video, I said I had 9 clumps out of the 1 clump that I had, but I've actually got 12. Paths are full of weeds. We've got some more dill. We've got a few carrots left. Some basil I was trying, or some Thai basil that I was trying to keep over winter, but no, it just was too cold this winter. While I'm pulling things up, in my last video about planting more tomatoes in less space, I cleaned out this tomato bed here. And I actually didn't show maybe an important part that I should have shown because I had a lot of questions about whether or not I just left the stumps and the roots in there, because all I showed was cutting them off at ground level. If a plant has a small root system, I will leave it in there. I'll just cut it off at ground level and let the roots rot away. If it has a large root system, like some of these tomatoes had a large root system, I will cut out or take out most of the bigger parts of the root right around the base of the plant. All of the feeder roots that go out from there, I will leave to just go ahead and decompose and feed the soil. So I hope that clears up any confusion that I left in that video. The peas here are really just going nuts. I still haven't harvested them. I think at this point, I'm gonna just keep some of these for seed. It's just been so rainy that I just haven't come out here. You know, we just kind of holed up in the house, or I was up at the top working on the coop. And all right, the garlic's looking good in this bed. This is like, I don't know if it's because of all the rain, but I've never had garlic. I mean, some of this garlic at the base, look how thick this is compared to like my fingers. I mean, it is thick, and it's producing multiple sprouts, multiple clumps. So I'm thinking it's just because there's been so much moisture. So maybe those of you who have wet climates, that's nothing new to you, but it definitely is for me. Got some good lettuce here. Need to start harvesting this. On a snail. Some peppers that I overwintered, so these will be trimmed back. I'll show you how to do that in just a little bit. This is all of my fennel. Can't wait to get some of those bulbs for cooking. If you haven't roasted homegrown fennel before, you really should. These are calendulas. The first bloom is about to happen here. Some green onions that are fairly new. And I believe these are turnips. I sowed the seeds here in the fall, and they didn't come up. I didn't know what happened, and then all of a sudden, all the rain, and then I came out here and just all of a sudden noticed all of these big leaves, and I'm pretty sure these are turnips. I've never grown turnips before. Some more overwintered peppers. They did have some cold damage, you can see, but I'm thinking the trunks look good, so we'll take care of these. Got some leeks here. This arugula, I'm actually going to leave it because the pollinators are after it and some of the beneficials, it's attracting them. So why not leave it? It's just a little space here. And then I noticed that my potatoes are coming up, even the Ruth Stout potatoes. If you guys saw that video, you know what I'm talking about. If not, I'll link it down below. It's got to be the easiest way of planting anything that I've ever seen. Harvested most of the cabbage. We've got the purple cabbage here left. Looks pretty good. This one has got some major aphid issues, so I'll be spraying them off with water. And there's little tiny strawberry plants coming up in my strawberry beds. Not many. Oh, there's my first asparagus. I just saw it for the first time. So I'm going to fill in with some soil over that, with some compost, I mean. With dandelions, you want to get the whole root. Any pieces you leave are going to start up a new plant. I'm sure a million of you are going to ask what this weeding tool I've been using is. I got this on Amazon. I had pretty much given up hand tools because they all just break or bend or whatever. And when I saw this, I thought it's made of one piece of metal. There's nothing, no welding to come undone. It looked strong. I have loved this so much. Yesterday, I spent 4 hours in the front yard weeding with this. I'm going to put up a before and after picture of what 4 hours and this tool can do. And it doesn't bend, it doesn't feel weak or anything. I am not sponsored by this company. I don't even know what it is. Portable and. I might get a couple cents if you buy one through my Amazon link. So if you want to support my channel and get a really cool weeder, it comes with a trowel and a transplanting shovel as well. And it was relatively inexpensive. So I'll put the link to this down below. Okay, I'm a bit surprised. Shocked might be a better word. I was pulling weeds here in the fabric raised bed from Grassroots. I had my sweet potatoes growing in here last year. Now, you might remember my sweet potato slips, or sweet potatoes that I was trying to get slips from, it rotted. And so I ended up ordering them, and then it took forever to get them here. And by the time I planted my sweet potato slips in the ground or in this bed, it was June, which is way too late. They take forever. They need a long growing season. So in, I don't know, December probably, I kind of just dug through here a little bit, and kind of this type of thing was what I was finding. Wasn't surprised at all, didn't dig any further. Then today, as I'm kind of rooting through the bed, started getting some bigger pieces, nothing to write home about. Then they started getting a little bit bigger. Until I was almost done, and then in the corner of the bed, I dug up this. I don't know. The plants were dead by December. January for sure, they were gone. So these didn't put on any growth since then. They've just been sitting here waiting for me to find them. I don't know. Look at this. It's got veins like it's pumping iron and it's on steroids. Can you see that? So all of the weeds within the rabbit fencing, so within the vegetable garden, are all cleaned out. However, right on the other side of the fencing, all of this, these are grasses that the seed heads are going to be ripening up pretty soon. So I need to take care of these. Otherwise, it's just going to blow over into here and start the process all over again. All right, I went a little crazy with the weed eater, but it's done, at least for now. Now I'm going to show you how to cut your peppers, trim your peppers if they look like mine, to kind of reinvigorate them so they can wake up for springtime and start growing. Let me know in the comments if you guys overwinter your peppers. And if you didn't know that peppers are perennial, let me know that down in the comments as well. Peppers are perennial. Here, you can leave them out all winter. They will look bad, like they do. In colder climates, there's a way to cut them back, bring them in, and put them back out in the spring. I will leave a link to a video I did on that down below. Right now, I'm going to show you how I do this, and it's kind of going to be the same as if you live in a cold climate. This is what you would do in the fall. Whereas in a mild winter climate, you're gonna do this in the spring. So first you wanna take off any fruit, whether it looks good or whether it is ripe or whether it's unripe. I just take it all off. All right, at this point, we are gonna look in the plant for the main stalk coming out of the ground. It forks, and up here at the next forking, if you have that many, we're gonna cut it off right above that. And we're gonna leave the strongest ones, so maybe 3. Like that. Like that. The branch looks a little bit browning like that. I'm just gonna cut that off. We don't need that. And then I'm going to cut off all of the little sprigs all the way up that just have tiny little leaves. We don't need those either. Anything dead, diseased looking, comes off. So you should end up with something like this. Now over the next month or two, it's going to start to leaf out and look healthy. Probably got dirt and grass all over me, but you know what? That just means it was a good, productive day. And I love days like this in the garden where you feel like you really accomplished something that you've been putting off or because of weather haven't been able to get out there and do. But overall, I think the garden looks clean and ready to get planting. So I still need to put a 2-inch layer of compost over all the beds, and I'm going to be getting that delivered. The compost truck comes tomorrow or the next day. And I'll be able to do that after I test the compost. I don't want to get into a situation that I had last year. So if you are buying compost, watch the video. I'll link it below just to make sure your compost is okay to use. Well, I hope that this was either informative, entertaining, motivating. If it was any of those 3 things, consider giving the video a like or thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Share it with a gardening friend, and I'll see you next time.